Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Tom. It's Charlie. Today we're doing two foodies who like to chat about food. Okay,
That we
Charlie,
do.
Charlie, how you doing? All right.
I'm good. I'm good. We're not quite as hot as you, but for Milwaukee, we're pretty hot. We're in the 80s, and we're in this. We keep getting those Canadian wildfires
Oh,
um,
smoke.
coming in. So earlier today, the combination of fog and smoke. I live about, I'd say, maybe 5 or 6 blocks from. I'm in downtown, and the high risers about 5 or 6 blocks away, 40 stories. Could not see them. They were
Really?
completely and utterly white. It's since dissipated, and now it's a nice, beautiful, sunny day over Lake Michigan. But
I live
you
in.
guys are 100 and plus.
I live in right now. I live 109 right now. I live in an air fryer. That's what I live in. And, but it's a dry heat, Charlie.
Right. That's what they say.
Open the oven door and stick your head in. And that's where I live.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is like really. I mean, when it's 115 and above. Last week, 2 weeks ago, last week or whatever it was 118. Okay, last year it hit 120. All right, now we go to the pool and stuff like that. The air conditioner works fine. Have really no problem with it. But I used to live in Florida. Okay, and when they give you that feels like number, okay, the humidity is well up there. Okay,
Right.
yeah. So this, I'm not making excuses for it. It's friggin' hot, no matter how you add it up. But I mean,
Absolutely.
you know. So reason why I asked you up today was because I'm going to start trying to do a little review, not reviews, but different things that we cooked and stuff in the past, different videos I go back and watch of yours and stuff. And it struck a nerve the other day with me with your risotto
Huh?
that you did. Okay.
Yeah.
I used to make risotto constantly in a couple places that I worked at. But the interesting taken is people don't really understand the process. Okay. It's not a slam dunk type of thing. You really got to pay attention to what you're doing.
Right.
But the end result is phenomenal. So give me a little Jonesy, how you doing?
So the reason I did that is because I had it when I was in Italy. I had it two different
Right.
places, and in both places, I was a little surprised that it was al dente. The rice had a little
Yeah.
teeny crunch to it, which I had never had here. And when I've made it, it's always you cook
Yeah.
until it's nice and creamy. So I asked the chef, how do you do that? How do you make it al dente? And they do a couple things. First, they serve it on a more of a plate as opposed to a bowl, so it lays flat and it doesn't continue to cook itself. And they use less broth. They instead of using 4.5, they use. I mean, it's used 4. They use 3.5 cups for
Okay.
a serving, and then you test it along the way just to make sure. So it was to me it was interesting, and one of the videos I did years ago was risotto in a microwave,
Okay.
which you can do, which it comes out the same without all the stirring, but it's cheating.
Yeah, because I mean, with the al dente, I mean, I'm saying, wow. I would have customers tell me too crunchy. It's undercooked. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a line between hard rice and just a teeny bit of little crunch there, just a little teeny bit.
Yeah.
But it was noticeable, and if it hadn't been in two different places in two different cities, one in Rome, one in Naples, I'm in Sorrento, I would have just chalked it up as it was just
And
weird. But in two places, is that okay? This is how it's done here.
exactly. Yeah. That's the other thing. I have people say, "Well, no, you can't do it that way." Yeah, you can. I mean, there's obviously uh, from the motherland. Okay, this is basically what you want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So turn around and the mushrooms. The mushrooms that you had. That's my go-to. They're my go-to mushrooms right there. Um, Any difference in the taste from Italy to here with the as far as the mushrooms are concerned, or?
Well, I think everything tastes better in Italy.
Okay, yeah. I was never there, but I can almost imagine.
Um, I mean, everything's cooked. I mean, I sauteed the one batch of the onions in the mushrooms in butter, and then the others I tossed into the. I already had mushroom broth, and then I just put more mushrooms in the broth to accentuate that mushroom flavor. As I was using that to put into the risotto as I was stirring it. I don't know that I would be able to. I don't know if I have that nuance of a palate to be able to say, oh yeah, there's slight difference here. That mushrooms coming out of the ground. But it was the other thing that they did. Both chefs did. One was a seafood risotto, and the other was mushroom. One they used mushroom stock for mushroom risotto, and they used seafood stock for a seafood risotto. So again, okay,
Makes sense.
right, instead of chicken stock, just okay. Well, that accentuates and adds to the flavor.
Marie had asked me the other day. She said, "Why do people use chicken stock to put into different dishes and stuff if it's no chicken in it?" I said, well, after a while, chicken stock has really no taste to it. It has, it actually adds the salt to it, and it gives it that base because it's got a lot of fat in it.
Right.
Okay. I said, so if you were making a shrimp dish and you put beef broth in it, it wouldn't work too much.
No.
Vegetable broth or something like that. I'm a firm believer, as you know from my channel, I make my own stocks. I make my own. If I'm going to make scampies or something like that, I have a freezer full of shells.
And the other sauces that you make, they're perfect. The red pepper sauce that you use all the time is, that's ubiquitous. That you use that, and it's so flexible in its use. It's so many different ways you can go with it. You just use it as the base, and then, well, I'm going to do this with it. Now I'll do this with it.
Okay, Rick, take care. Yeah, I mean, lately I've been adding it to tomato sauce, and just different. Not it really don't. How can I explain this? It enhances the flavor to a point where, doesn't change it, but this is like a nicer texture, I guess, would be the you could use it with anything. It's basically what I do. So because when I make a sauce, I just make it plain, okay, and I'll use the way we store it because it's just two of us. We've flattened it out, put it in the freezer, and then I can break it off and use what we need for it.
Right.
No sense wasting a big pot of sauce and chucking it because you're not refreezing or anything else like that. But that risotto, that set me off. I said, "Damn."
It was it was good.
I might have to quit keto for a day. But Marie says, well, she said, well, can't you make it with their rice? Not rice, it's cauliflower. But she said, can't you make it with that? I said, I think the texture would be totally off.
Yeah, it's
so.
I mean, you butter and Parmesan cheese, and cook them in shallots, and you can emulate it, but it's.
Yeah. I mean, you never hear of anybody taking rice and making mock mashed potatoes out of rice. They just don't do it.
No.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, with the cauliflower. So, like what I do, there is some drawbacks with it, but I'm at the point right now in my life where I can jump off the wagon a little bit, and I'm not going to suffer too much for it.
Mm-hmm.
But that really, boy, and I said, damn, Charlie, see what you did to me.
I have to tell you that I do think about you and Mike when I'm cooking some of this. I think this isn't going to be bad, is it? This is not going to make it. I'm serious. I said, is it? And when I had I had a guest on a couple weeks ago, and I said, is this keto? And she said, yes. And I said, great. And then she was putting beans in. And I said, that's not keto.
Yeah,
meatballs. I had to edit that out. Yeah, the vegan meatballs.
The vegan meatballs. But see there again, where I'm at. I mean, come on. I mean, it didn't. This didn't happen to me overnight. It took many
Yeah.
years, to get blown out of the water and stuff. But I got to tell you, I have I have different things that I've been looking at. I did a little bit of Mediterranean stuff like that. So I cook whole foods. I don't go off the wagons as far as substitutes, and most people know that. So most of the keto people don't really appreciate when I say that some of the stuff in the boxes are junk, or some of these drinks they make are junk.
They
And
are. It's our
yeah,
process.
exactly. So when I watch a channel like yours and I see the different people you have on. By the way, everybody, check Charlie out, please. Cooking Secrets for Men, great channel. The way you explain things with people and let them elaborate, and then you turn the corner with them. Okay, guess what? Now you're going to cook. Put your apron on and let's rock and roll.
Right.
I love that. But there are a couple things that you did with a couple different people that intrigued me. I mean, I'm saying, wow, look at that. You're letting them do their thing.
Right.
Okay. And that I'm saying, that's Charlie's show. And we're going to cook together. Nope. Go ahead. Here you go. I enjoyed that. I really did. The priest cracked me up. That was funny as hell. That really was. and like, and then your music guy.
Yeah, Bob.
I said, wow, okay, with the shrimp and everything. That's good stuff. Really is good stuff.
Yeah, I just let them. I make suggestions once if they can't figure out what to do, I'll make a suggestion. I said, look, you don't want to be here all day, so pick something where we can do in a 15, 20 minutes, half hour, and we'll edit it out. And so sometimes they want to be real elaborate, and I said, yeah, you really don't want to do that. Let's make it simple. We're here to really the food is secondary, although it's important. The secondary is to talk about the community leader, but the cooking is the fun part, and that what allows people to show a side of themselves that maybe they don't see if they're in the news all the time, or if they're a public figure. That they have a persona, and when they come on my show, they can be a little goofy.
Yeah, the weatherman on that cracked me up.
Oh yeah, Brian Goddard. Yeah, he is. Well, he's a TV guy, so you can.
Yeah,
he'd been a goofy TV guy for 20 some years.
He's a big dude.
Oh yeah, he's been working for the Mac Fund, which is a children's cancer fund, a nonprofit started by John McLaughlin, who played for the Bucks with Alcindor back in the day. So yeah, but I do like that. I do have a good time, and I'm doing a couple more of those. I last night I have to tell you this. So I went out with. There's a kid here in Milwaukee. His name is Dominic, the food reviewer. You should check him out. If you're on Facebook, check this kid out. He's 18. He's autistic, and all he does is positive food reviews.
Okay,
and
they're hard to come by.
That's all he does. And he's got a little bit of Rain Man in him. But so I went out. I'd been talking to him. And he invited me to come out we went to this place called Maxie's Southern Comfort, kind of Cajun Southern food. But they welcomed this kid like he was royalty. And They just brought out, 5, 6 different appetizers. I was with him and his dad and his mom, and myself. So my thought was, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to pick out a dish that I like, and I'm going to recreate it, and then you can come on and you come back on and we'll eat it together. But that's the same type of thing. Because I didn't have an idea to cook. I said, well, okay, I like shrimp and grits. Okay, I'm going to do that. Cool. Sorry, Tom, it's polenta, so that's corn, so it's close enough, right? Corn. No, corn is bad. I forgot corn is that.
Yeah, no, corn's good. Corn liquor. I can't even get moonshine anymore.
But this kid is just, he's completely, utterly, and 100% positive all the time. He was talking to they take his picture, take a picture with the manager, with the chef. The people come up to him and say, "Oh, I love your reviews." And I had never heard of the guy. I'm Mr. Milwaukee, and I had never heard of this guy. He's got like 15,000 followers on Facebook. He's got a YouTube channel. He just started a website. It's just fun to be with. So I think I'm probably going to do a few things, go out with him on the road, and I don't want to go to a sandwich shop and try to recreate a hamburger or something. But
right.
I like to do that stuff. I like to do this, just kind of goofing around and having food is always the uniting part of all of this.
Yep.
And I know it is that part of for what a lot of what you do, because you came up as a chef, you worked in restaurants, you worked in clubs, and it comes through in all your videos too, that you like it, you're good at it, and at the end you're always eating whatever we fixed.
The thing that I don't know if I come across, I was told a while back, by the way, by my grandson. He said, "Pop, I don't know how to cook. You got to explain better. You got to teach what you're doing." I thought that was like, who's going to watch that? But in reality, he was 100% right. You know what I mean? I guess, trying to prepare things and stuff like that. I want to start doing more, like I said, live cooks and stuff on there. I want to show the mess ups. I want to show me, Marie, get me a Band-Aid. I just cut my finger. That type of stuff. But just trying to keep it real is exactly what how I want to do it.
I definitely have to get my knives sharpened, because I know I'd slip with I'd go.
Yeah. Well, Mike sent me the cut gloves to wear. I said, that's all right if I'm going to cut myself all the time, but I can't grab anything. You know what I mean?
Well, we were talking a little bit beforehand, about my videos, and one of the things that I am and have been for most of my life is a teacher and a coach. I coached for many, many years in multiple sports. I wanted to be a math teacher, and when I was retiring, thought about doing that. That's another story why I ended up not doing it. So my view is that I'm always teaching, I'm always coaching, I'm always trying to explain why we do what we do. I just don't want to, throw some butter in a pan, stir it around, blah, 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 and here's the dish in 2 minutes. There's 50 million of those videos out there. They don't really do anything for me.
I made it's coming up, I think mid August. I try to stay ahead of things. We take stuff out. I got the camera out because I don't want to fall behind or whatever. A couple of weeks ago, especially when I was sick again, I got close a couple of days trying to put a video up, and the stress was like, wow. I try to keep it Wednesdays and Sundays, basically what I try to do, and then in between stuff like this or a couple shorts here and there. Shorts actually really died out on me. They just took a nosedive. Either YouTube's not putting them up anymore or whatever. But the older stuff, I urge everybody, if you're a YouTube creator, go back in your channel, go back and look at from the beginning and look at the numbers, because there's a lot of videos that they actually skyrocketed. Okay, I got a couple shorts that are in close to 100,000.
Wow.
From way back. Yeah. So you got to, with the monetization and stuff like that, you really got to watch when it was taken care of the whole bit. Anyway, that's a different story. But getting back, I got a video coming up where I made an eggplant sauce out of roasted eggplant. And I'm telling you what, Charlie, off the charts good. It's totally different. I said, I gotta come out of this. Everybody's doing the same thing. If somebody does a smash burger, there's 50 million smash burger videos.
Right.
Okay? So it's just like following a train. Let me do the smash burger. So I'm trying to come all the way around full circle and starting with fresh whole foods and making different things out of it. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to preach too much about the keto stuff. Everybody knows that I'm keto. I'm low carb. So that's the turn I'm making now. I'm just going to cook.
Yeah.
come up
So
with different
tell me
stuff.
about the eggplant. I just we're having a party here in my building on Saturday. We're having some friends over, and one of the things I'm making is a grilled eggplant dip. Um,
Okay.
I said smoked paprika, and I grilled the eggplant and pulled the skin off, and then so I just two big old eggplants I just grilled. So what are you making from your eggplant
So,
sauce?
so what I do is I just take the eggplant, I roast it whole.
Okay,
I did all my peppers. This one Mexican store I go to, La Bonita, it's called. I mean, Maurice says, "Come on, we got to go home. Come on, get away from the produce. Come on." Uh, all over. I mean, so what I did was I roasted some red pepper. I got red peppers, 3 red peppers for $1.
uh-huh.
So I did 6. I think I did eight red peppers, but I had 3 eggplant for $1.
Three?
3 for $1.
Wow.
I mean, beautiful.
Oh yeah.
So what I did was I took it, washed them, put them in the pan, roasted them. They blistered a little bit.
All right.
Okay, let them cool down, cooled it off, and I put that opened it up, got most of the seeds out because the smaller ones usually have a lot more seeds in them.
Right.
Took it and put it in excuse me, put it in the blender, and I added my a plum tomato. I roasted 2 whole bulbs of garlic with it.
I saw you put that the whole big thing of garlic and
Yeah.
the video you just did a couple days ago.
So I put that in there also, and then Charlie, I've been using a lot of Mexican oregano.
Right.
Now, I got to tell you,
I went out and bought some just because of you.
the smell. I mean, the aroma is like unbelievable, and it stays when you cook into it. It doesn't really cook out. And so I took it out. Rhonda, how you doing, Rhonda? Nice to see you. Barb, hello, how you doing? DJs, cartoons, hey, DJs in the house, my man. And Rick had left. Okay, so I crushed it up in there and I ran it through the blender. Take it out and I put it into the pot. All right, and then I had some of that tomato sauce that I made, but I cooked it in the crock pot. Now I'm not a big crock pot guy.
Right.
Okay. But I had made some tomato sauce in it, cooking with the pork. And I just took a little block of that out and put it in the pan and then cooked that all down. Then I took the immersion blender. And I got to tell you, it came out smooth as silk. All right. It wasn't bitter. I'm telling you, it was fantastic. And naturally,
Did you peel the eggplant?
once after we roasted it,
Okay.
we took the skin off it. Yeah.
It would come right off.
Yeah. It acted just like a pepper or a tomato.
So
But
eggplant, peppers, garlic.
Chef, how you doing, buddy?
Sounds good to me.
I'm telling you. So I got a couple other things up my sleeve that I'm gonna try to do, and I'm gonna be honest with everybody as far as if it tastes like crap, I'm gonna tell you, nope, don't do that. But I got to thinking. Sometimes I lay in bed and I can't go to sleep because I want to. Not that I want to set the world on fire, but I want to do something different, out of the ordinary. Okay,
Right.
that can be easy on the pocketbook. Okay, trying to get people to stop and think and cook for yourself. A lot of these different channels, they have prepping and stuff like that. Okay, that's totally up to them what they want. But I mean, some of the stuff that they can and everything else like that. Okay, for further down the road, if you're going to use it. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at stuff that we can put in the freezer and pull it out. Eggplant was always on my mind about doing it. If you got a decent food processor or a blender, it will work. Absolutely work. Treat it just like you were making tomato sauce.
It sounds really. Because I love eggplant.
Yeah.
And of course, obviously, I like garlic. And the Mexican oregano, I guess that's interesting. I like that.
What a flavor. But here's what I did with it. I did some, if I remember right, I think I did some pork with it or something, pork tenderloin or something. But I laid it on as the base. Okay, base sauce like that. And then I think I had some I know I did make. I didn't film it. I know I did make it with a spaghetti squash. Unbelievable, unbelievable.
I'm just gonna. As I get older, I keep forget. I just something goes.
Oh.
I forget.
Yeah,
I
mean,
I can't even remember now.
But I mean, the basics of making the sauce and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not knocking anybody like that. Come out of the can and stuff. But if you try it yourself, try and make it.
I know what I wanted to ask you. How important is sodium or lack of in keto? Is that something to stay away from?
No, you need sodium. You need a lot more sodium than people say. Here's where I get in trouble again. Also, with a lot of people with doing keto. What happens is when you start losing weight and stuff, what happens is your kidneys go on overtime. Okay, so they're pushing everything out. So they're getting their sugar and stuff from your cells. Also, salt. Salt makes everything wet.
Right.
Let's put it that way. So after what happens, your kidneys start calling for more, and you actually need a little bit more salt. People have been talking about iodized salt. You know, like the little girl. You know, it's iodized. Well, we don't get enough iodine to begin with. So a little bit of iodized salt is not bad for you. Okay, all these different mitts and stuff like that, they're starting to bust apart. But yeah, I use a lot of excuse me. I use a lot of sea salt.
Yeah,
some kosher salt. You know, Himalayan salt. Okay, pink salt and stuff. I had a little issue with that because it's been there for millions of years. You buy it from the store and has an expiration date on it. I don't get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, salt going bad.
Yeah, I mean, really? So I just try to stay away from that stuff. So, like I said, sea salt and stuff. Yeah, but you need more salt in your system. Not going crazy, but I mean, your body will call for it. If you feel yourself being a little extra thirsty and stuff, that means you need.
Well, the reason I was asking that because you're reading about diabetes and some of the other things that I mean the things they tell you to do: lose weight, eat healthy, which means less processed food. But the processed food, one of the things that's omnipresent in all processed foods is salt. So I was just wondering if that had any effect whatsoever. You know, cut down the sugar, cut down on the, the.
It's almost like an oxymoron type of thing when you go see the doctor. Okay, blood pressure. Okay, whoa, too much salt. You lay off the sodium, could raise your blood pressure. Well, so does carbohydrates.
Right.
Eating a ton of carbohydrates, and then when you go to the doctor, they walk you to Newfoundland and back to get to go onto the scale and come back and do your blood pressure. You know, so I make a joke out of it all the time. I said, "Let me do you now," to the nurse. She looks at me. Why? I said, "Well, you walk the same distance, so I guess you're elevated also."
I gotcha.
Okay, so a little chubby girl. One time I went there and she said, "Get on the scale." I said, "No, you first."
Way to endear yourself to the staff.
Yeah. So, and then I do believe that my doctor is a vegan, which is not. I have no problem with anybody who does anything like that. So we butt heads about the keto deal. And on top of it, now we are arguing over medications. Okay, he wants to put me on a medication because of my blood sugar. Okay, I'm 68, so if it constantly up and down, I'll never get it normal. No way in hell. Okay, but all my other numbers that they're worried about, triglycerides and all that stuff, it's fine, normal. Doing what I'm doing.
Right.
Before I started doing this, it was all over the place. It was crazy. You need to be on medication.
But that had a lot to do with your weight too, didn't it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. And now what he just alluded to, my last visit with him, is, well, Tom, some of the medication you're on, guess what? That causes spike in your blood sugar. Well, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? Really? You know, it's like telling your child, get in a corner. No, not that corner over there. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You
And
know.
I think they're just, you know,
Hey,
I,
Jason.
they're if there
And
were one way to do it, everybody would do it. So, you know, they're
yeah,
just they're
I'm not knocking the doctor and stuff like that. I mean, not at all. It's just that they're not trained in it. You know what? And after a while, now that's an excuse because there's a lot of people out there who are doing their own thing, getting your life back. Let's put it that way. We're all gonna die. You know what I mean? I'll get hit by an Enderman's donut truck. You know what I mean?
while you're in the back grabbing a box.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, that's why I don't. I mean, I don't know if you ever seen Rhonda, challenging kitchen.
Okay.
Rhonda, she's got a great channel. She does a lot of cooking. She does a lot of good stuff cooking and stuff. You know, and she'll say, "Oh, I don't know if this is the that doesn't affect me." One other thing, I'm happy to see people cooking. I am happy to see people cooking for themselves. Drunken chef, okay, has a little chef. They go out, they do things, they cook together. That's what it's all about. It's about bringing your family together and showing other people how to do things. You know, that's why I'm intrigued with your channel also, Charlie, because you're bringing high profile people in, and you'll make a BLT. You know, that's
how people cook. That's 90% of the people. That's how we cook.
Yeah, I mean, it's
not fancy. You're trying to slap something together on a Tuesday night in less than a half an hour that doesn't cost $1 million. That's how people cook. So, you know, there's one channel, I won't mention the name. It's not even a channel. It's a blog that I follow, and it's two guys, and they have these gourmet takes on everything. And I said, that looks pretty. It looks nice, but no one's ever going to cook this.
Right.
You know, they're just not. That's not how people cook.
See, right now I'm chewing on cheese. Okay. Marie makes these cheese crackers. Okay, and jalapeno and stuff like that. So that's my before we have dinner, I'll have a little.
Is that
little snack like that? What's that?
Is that parm?
Yeah, it's got a it does have some parmesan, some mozzarella mix, and all of a sudden now they're mixing mozzarella with cheddar. I've never heard of that before.
What?
Yeah, I mean, in these
not in my stores.
Yeah, the pizza blend they're putting on. I'm saying, all right, I think I got it by accident, honestly.
Now I used to make. I remember this goes back when the Silpats first came out. We used to make Parmesan crisps. You know, you put pile of Parmesan on the Silpat, you put it in, and take it out, and it's Parmesan cracker.
The whole idea is that people don't realize that we eat too much.
Yeah,
eat way too much. Okay, so I would do, like I said, I would do a whole night. Start at 10 o'clock in the morning, go through my day until 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, in the restaurant, because after we closed, we would do lunch, and then prep for dinner, and then shut down the dinner at 11 o'clock, and we had a bar. So what if I had baked potatoes left over and stuff for the night's dinner? I would make stuffed potatoes out of them. Nothing went to waste. Let's put it that way. So we would continue on until 2 o'clock in the morning, make bar food. I mean, the baked potatoes I would do for like 50 cents just to get rid of them. I don't want to throw nothing out. So my way of doing things is always coming up with different ways of doing it. Okay. Fancy stuff. I remember going into a fancy Italian restaurant in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Great people. And go in and they would do like lace zucchini. Okay. I don't know how they cut it or what they did to it, but it would be, and they dust it real quick through flour, deep fryer, pull it back up again, and squeeze lemons all around it and put lemons on it. Charlie, I'm telling you what, it was fantastic. You can't make that at home because you don't have the equipment to make it at home. Okay. So what we do is what you can make at home. Okay. And enjoy it it. That's the whole idea. I mean, I can't remember the Italian guy's name. He had a cooking show on, and now he was on YouTube for a while. Stopped, Damn if I could think of his name. Had a beard.
Not Mario Batali.
No. Always wore a shirt and tie and he'd talk. Let's get into the kitchen. Well, I can't think of his name right now. I always watched him, and he would turn around and say, "Hey, this is how I do it. Okay, if you think it's going to be too fancy or stuff like that, make it your way. But here's how you do it." And it made a lot of sense. Lot of sense.
Yeah, we do. I'm in a group that does international collabs once a month, and so those I doubt anyone's ever going to make unless that's part of whatever culture we happen to be doing at the time. But to me it's interesting. I'm learning, making something different, but I'm realistic that no one's ever going to cook this.
What was it that you just made? You just did it a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, last week we did. It was Pakistan. It was chicken biryani,
right.
And it's work intensive. It's it's rice on the top and the bottom, and it's all these 10,000 spices in there. It was delicious, and it was close to authentic, but no one's ever going to cook that.
Right. And so now I have a friend. I consider him a friend. We go back and forth. He's also from Pakistan. And I watched his video the other night, and he did something that I had to say, wait a minute. Have you ever heard of mustard oil?
No.
Okay. That threw me for a loop. So I said to him in a comment, real, as cordial as I can be. The hell do you get mustard oil from? And he come back, the market. But it was odd looking, Charlie. It was, he put it in a pan, high heat, put it in a pan, and it like almost looked like he poured beer in. The way it like frothed it up a little bit, and then he calmed down and he put the other stuff in right away. But that's as far as he got. Telling me at the market. Right, I'm not hopping a boat heading to Pakistan to get this mustard oil.
Right.
So I'm trying to do a little research on it, and they have nothing. I think maybe it might have been some oil that he infused some mustard in it with it, powder.
Yeah, it sounds like either they take the seeds and they grind them or roast them and then combine them with somehow into oil. But I've never ever heard of that. I don't know what I'd use it for.
That's right, Rhonda. No, there was some more. I was also questioned about why I don't make any like some roasted essence and stuff as far as like fennel, and using that different stuff and making my own blends like that. And I sort of questioned myself about it too after I was asked that. And I said, well, you know what, I should do this a little bit more of that. That's why I want people to leave more comments about questioning me about things, because you get stale. I can cook one thing 500 different ways, okay, and I just don't get any feedback on it. So as far as which way I'm going with it, and you know what, the other thing. Seafood does not do well on YouTube. It's unbelievable.
Well, I'm going to eat it and cook it and take videos of it. So
yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, me too. I just don't, I put something up and nothing goes nowhere. I can take a steak, throw it in a pan.
Just hold on one second. I have to apologize, everybody. I had on full screen and I didn't see that there were comments. So anybody who's made comments or said anything, I apologize. Now I'm looking at them and
oh, you didn't have any?
I had I had us on the full screen, and then I said, why am I not seeing any comments? And I said, oh, dummy, you gotta pull up the comments. Mr. Computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you were going with you want to make it your own. You want to. We've talked about this before, that the skill to look into a fridge or look into your pantry and say, I got that. Oh, and I got that in the freezer. Let me put this together. And
That's
we'll have a meal.
yeah. I mean, Marie, Marie's a little Sicilian there, and not from I guess just from the way we grew up. Don't waste anything.
Right.
Okay, our parents came from the Depression. Okay, so my grandmother and so nothing went to waste, and that was, I guess, instilled enough. There's kids in China that need to eat. You're not eating that; they're
Right.
hungry.
It's somewhere it morphed from there's children starving in China till there's children starving in India. Somewhere in my childhood, both came into play.
I got the beating of my life because I told my mother, put a stamp on it and send it to him. Bang, boom. you know, but see, we're of the same
Yeah.
upbringing. I mean,
Right.
as far as there was 8 of us in the house. Okay, I was the baby, and by the time I became in my teenage, everybody was gone, so it was just me, my dad, my mom. So they still cooked like there was 8. That we got. I mean, I got tangled up in that mess. Marie would look at me. Why are you cooking so much? You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
No, I'm with you. When my boys are here and my boys can eat,
Steven,
I can make what I think is enough for 6 or 8 people, and it's gone by the end of the night. They can eat, but they've been gone 6, 7 years, and so I've had to figure out how do I scale to just cook for the 2 of us. And now that we're older, and I've heard you talk about this too, we're only eating 2 meals a day.
Right.
So, that's hard to do when you're used to cooking for crowd and really piling it on to, we're just going to cook this much today.
Steven, how you doing, buddy?
Stephen, Jacqueline, hey.
Yeah, see, that's the hard curve for me, even to today. So Marie says to me, "Why are you concerned about buying these big cuts of meat?" And I said, "Well, this is what we got them in there." She said, "But we're running out of room."
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just some things are hard. Some deals are hard to break. But the cooking end of it, okay. Now Marie's a great cook, okay, actually, and also a great baker. I mean, like I almost jumped off the keto wagon here not too long ago. She made an Italian cheesecake for my grandson. He remembered it from when he was a kid.
Yeah.
For his birthday. Whew, just smelling it. Well, and I did have a slice. I went into keto jail for 2 days. But
you did a video. That was on the video, right?
Yeah. We did it on seniors, yeah. So, and passing that down. I mean, I know you said your sons cook.
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's a good thing for me. I enjoy that. I really. My daughter's a great cook. All right. We butt heads about things here and there, but that's the whole idea of it. You know what I mean?
When I go to visit, I don't have to worry about. I don't really cook at all. We either go out or they cook, and they like to cook, and it's just they don't think twice about it. They eat healthy, they eat fresh, they're creative to an extent. The younger one is more vegetarian, and that I guess they both are to a little bit, and they don't eat a lot. They're both skinny.
Yeah,
relative to the dad.
But the whole idea, though, the premise of it, okay, that they're trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
And that I totally agree with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll listen to this one. Every once in a while, I'll turn around and say, I don't feel like cooking this week. We're going to have a couple salads or whatever. I'll do my spaghetti squash and stuff like that. And then by Friday, well, I'd say I'd start that on Sunday. And then probably by Wednesday, tell them, what are you doing in the free? Get a steak. Leave me alone. Friggin' greens. But trying to stay healthy. Who knew back in the day that eating steak and butter and bacon, okay, would be good for you?
Yeah.
I mean, we grew up in that time where, oh no.
Right, too much.
Atkins was a kook, so.
I did Atkins for a while.
Yeah, I mean, Atkins is a form of what I do.
Right.
But I'm at the point right now, Charlie, where if the other night I got done playing Saturday night, looked at Maria, I said, let's go get something to eat. There's a little casino right next door. We went into the place and I got, they're open 24 hours of food and stuff. I sat down and had a cheeseburger. I hadn't had a cheeseburger on a bun in a long time. Okay. And it was okay. My sugar went up, but I'm at the point now where the sugar goes up and it levels off now faster than it ever did. So making that full turnaround. And like I said, it took 3 years now doing keto. And I stick with it. I'm used to it now. Let's put it that way. Okay.
That's good because I don't want to call keto a diet because it's not. But the way that most diets end up working is it becomes a lifestyle change.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what you've done. You've made a lifestyle change, and that's how you cook and you eat.
Yeah,
and it works.
So I'll watch other people like I'll watch Rhonda's channel and stuff like that, and what she don't. It doesn't bother me. I'm like, oh, that's wrong. You can't have that. No, I mean she does a great job, and even other channels. I watched a guy last. Boy, I'm getting bad with names. I tell you, this guy's got like 780,000 subscribers. Okay,
wow.
He's a big weight. He's like a weightlifter type of dude, but his beard. He speaks like he's from Brooklyn, which he is. Okay, but he goes all over Manhattan. Everybody knows him. All right, and he goes into these different delis and stuff, and he eats. But curses like a truck driver. I mean, I don't know how he stays on YouTube, but I mean, I wants to watch 3 or 4 of his, or even more. Goes into an Italian deli and down in Little Italy, okay. And this guy, the owner, is slicing off the prosciutto, okay, and he's like dropping it. I'm saying, of a bitch, I got to watch this late at night like this. And then, I mean, and then pastries and all kinds of stuff like that. But he's huge. You know what I mean? So he says, oh, I know this ain't good for me. But then he was talking about bread. That's why I had tears in my eyes. So do I have tears. He had nice crispy raw bread, and he was eating a chicken cutlet sandwich that the guy made. I'm going like, oh, geez, what am I doing here?
Man, I watch people's channels all the time. And rarely do I look at it. Rarely. I say, oh, I wish I could make that and eat that. In terms of like some dessert or something that's you shouldn't really be eating. I don't look at it and go, oh, I have to have that. It's like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I like that technique. I mean, I'm looking at this is I guess what happens when you get old. That's an interesting technique. I wonder how that fits together with if you put more butter in, what would happen if you did this? And those are kind of the questions that I ask people. So why did you do it that way? Or what was there a reason for that? I asked the dude that the other day. He had his pickled pickled wings.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, what's the purpose of it? What does it do anything? And he said, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm speechless because you know what, he put it on and then he patted it off,
right?
You know, and then did the cooking. I'm saying, okay, might give that pickle taste.
Okay, he never explained why he did it or what it did or what it tastes like. He just said, I'm putting it in pickle brine. I said, okay, is it because the brine has salt in it? Is it?
Well, actually, the vinegar will help break it down a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. And plus the salt, the sodium in it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, Charlie, there was a place called Graziano's in Bricktown, New Jersey, where I lived. Okay.
Uh-huh.
This was like the pinnacle of old school Italian cooking, old school pizzeria, the whole bit.
Right.
They made pork chops and peppers, hot cherry peppers. Okay. That I said, holy crap, this is unbelievable. I did it not too long ago. I had but they're very thin pork chops with the banana peppers in, was it Mazzaro's, Mazzino's or something, I think, with the pepperoncini in the brine, sure. In the pickle.
Pepperoncini or yellow banana pepper?
Both.
Okay.
Drop them in, put them in the pan. Now I put that video up on Newsbreak. Okay, as of a half hour ago, it's got 21,000 views. Okay, people eat that stuff. People like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So, and I'm telling you, it was off the charts. I mean, it's fantastic. So I get the idea what the dude was doing with it. Okay, with that different taste, but I see where he's going with what he's doing. He's stopped doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Right.
Okay, one of the barbecue guys said to me, um, "Yeah, how many times can I watch a brisket cut, put on?" And they're right. They're 100% right. Do
Yep.
something different with the brisket. That would be, but that's a thing in itself. There, I guess. I'm trying to find that the Italian chef. He's actually from Sicily. His family. You
I
know,
the thing about the dude was I mean that's what I do. I ask questions. Why did you do it? Why does it do? I don't understand. Tell me why you did it. And I'm not in an insistent way, but that is interesting. I never thought
yeah,
of that.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
probably a reason, and I think the vinegar makes more sense than
Yeah,
uh,
Rhonda Newsbreak. Actually, Charlie, when it's called Newsbreak, Rhonda. Um, actually, the vinegar when you cook it after a while, it breaks down and it burns,
uh-huh,
and it gives it that black,
right.
that that like a little black burn. I mean, pieces of particles of burnt stuff on you, and that's what the attraction is to the pork chops. Okay, because it's soaked it in there pretty well. So yeah,
I think it's
Kenny
interesting.
and Debbie.
You're exactly right. You took a couple of household items that you can get on the grocery store, the banana peppers and the pepperoncini, and you tossed them in. They give you a little extra heat, a little extra flavor with something that you cook all the time. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'd like to do that.
And that's why when I watched you with your the people that you come in and stuff like that, I said Charlie's doing basic stuff that everybody knows or everybody can make.
Right.
Okay, you're not making a Chateaubriand, and going through all that stuff like that. I mean, it's easy, basic food that really anybody can eat. No matter, I don't care what kind of diet you're on and stuff like that. The portion size and stuff, how you're going to do it, it's not really going to affect you.
Right. I did see one with Karen in the kitchen that I wanted to do. That this one of the few that I've looked at. Said, "Ooh, I want to. I want. Not only do I want to do that, I want to eat that." It was she did a salmon in puff pastry and crit.
Mm-hmm.
It was salmon Wellington. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, I'd like that," because we used
Yeah.
to make beef Wellington back in the
Mm-hmm.
100 years ago.
Can't get filet mignon now either.
Yeah, but the salmon Wellington just spoke to me and said, "Okay, I got a freezer full of salmon." So
I come up with Sleeper Barbecue was talking about fried onions, not onion rings, but fried onions
right,
and butter and oil. And I went, I haven't had that. Now, doing what I do, sometimes you got to be careful with too many onions, because onions do have sugar in them.
right.
So, but the more you cook them, caramelize them, and this
I was
and
going to
that,
say, don't that it cooks out?
it dissipates, but it's still there. But I mean, it's still traceable, but it's not gonna blow you out of the water. And then Marcel from Little Fish in the Kitchen.
Yeah.
Marcel made rounds, bread rounds out of rice cauliflower. It's not rice, it's cauliflower.
Right.
And I'm saying, oh, I'm going to take both of them. And I made tri-tip and I made her rounds. Me and Marie come up with made a ring out of, I think a sour cream bucket. Okay. It was about that big around. And that's how we formed the mixture, put it in the oven. It was fantastic. I couldn't take credit for it. So I had to turn around and tell them, this is from Sleeper,
right,
and from what's her name. And I think that's important. You know what I mean?
Well, I remember this video, and I also remember you were the first person that's ever explained what a tri-tip is. And because people said we're having a tri-tip, and go, okay, does that just mean it's a little triangle that they're cutting off? And then I said, I don't know what that is. I've never understood. And then you were the first person not only to explain what it is, but to show how to cut it or how to slice it. And there's some different, the grain goes in different directions. So
Yeah.
that to me was another, ooh, okay. Now I understand.
And then, that's why I cut my own meat up. And see, there again, that's where I'm bad about it. I need to explain more. Okay. I'm taking for granted that people that are watching know how to do the things that I'm doing. And that
Right.
that was totally off course for me. I was so wrong. So now, different cuts of meats that they manufactured, okay, to sell. So chuck steak don't sell. If it's not cooked right, stuff his nails a whole bit. Now they come up with the flat iron inside.
Right.
Okay. Then they got the chuck eye. Okay. They're trying to sell a chuck eye like it's filet mignon. You know what I mean?
Right.
That type of stuff.
Sure. If it has chuck in it, yeah, that's
Yeah. I mean, it just so I know I got to change things up a little bit with that. That style of it. So that's why I'm intrigued. But most of the people that I'm subscribed to and that I watch a lot. Now, a lot of times I won't comment. And I'm not making an excuse. That's that, just sometimes. No, I look good to me. I'll like it, and that means more than anything. So, but
hey, Tom, excuse me, Marie, would you do me a favor? Somebody asked about my link, and I'm not sure even how I can do that. So, Marie, would you throw my link up there, please?
What do you call it? Cooking Secrets. No, wait a minute. Steven just did.
Oh, thank you, Steven.
Steven, that's what Steven's known for, right there. Steven jumps right in. There's another good channel. Okay.
Yes.
And I gotta admit, okay, Steven's been with me way in the beginning. I met him from the Road to Good Cooking, Miss J, who's my neighbor, lives around the corner from me. All right. She's got a great channel. He comes up with some wild stuff that he cooks. Okay.
Yeah, they're big supporters of my channel. I see them on lives and when we do our premieres for our international collabs. Are always there, always commenting. So I do appreciate them.
And matter of fact, he's the one who introduced me to Lee, who's now with our channel. So I'm thinking we're going to try to get Steven up on panel with us and just go over some of the stuff, what he does and everything else like that. Him and his daughter, I tell you what, he does. I like the way she explains things, what he does, and he cooks it up, man.
Yeah, I tried to get him to. I said, "Why don't you guys come and do these international collabs with us?" And he kind of said, I don't think so.
I'm trying to find this Italian chef here, and I hate when I put the wrong thing in or whatever.
I was talking. Who was I talking to? Oh, the chef at the restaurant we were at last night was talking about he knew he wanted to be a chef by watching PBS cooking shows when he was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I watched all those shows too. And I said, they're, who was he talking about? Oh, Bing, East Meets West. And I said to the kid I was with, I said, you're way too young to even know who that is. But going back 30, 40 years with these cooking shows, Julia Child and Pierre Franey and Craig Claiborne, and all had PBS shows, and they were interesting.
The thing that I like about watching these other chefs and stuff like that, old Pasquale, Chef Pasquale, you know who he is, the old Italian guy.
Yeah.
Just the techniques. I mean, just the way they do things that's how I came up. Doing the same things that he did and stuff. But now tweaking it up, and I've got to say, making them micro greens and stuff like that, and with putting the tweezers in them, that's not my cup of tea. No. Not my cup of tea whatsoever.
I wouldn't even know where to buy them.
And I'm that dish right there is very good for you. It's $85, for a 2-ounce piece of. Are you kidding me? I'd be fighting somebody. But I'm trying to find this one guy, and I know you know because he was also on PBS. This is scary, Charlie. This is scary. Not. Once we get off of here, he'll come up 5 million times. He's well dressed. He's got nice. He got the close beard. Older guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, what's the future looking for you there, partner?
Well, in terms of the things I do off of YouTube, we're building a house up in Michigan for our retirement. We'll see. That's just, I mean, this is little baby steps. So we're dealing with the bureaucracy of a small town, and we have to get
permits,
everything lined up, and we own a bunch of property, and we wanted to go to the lake, and then there's a way to do that, but then the zoning administrator said no, you can't. There's an 8-foot swath that has apparently never been taxed. It's 8 feet that goes from our upper lot down to where we have a house on the lake. And the person who did the survey said, well, we can just attach this to your lot and then you'll have access to the lake. I said, great. And then the zoning administrator came back and said, they can't do that. So now we think we have an 8-foot piece of property that has never been taxed. And we're going to get a tax bill for like 70 years of back taxes.
Wow.
No, I have not kidding about that. I have no idea.
Yeah, you're right.
But we have to we're dividing land within the family. So we're taking a 3-acre plot and we're building a house on that, but we have to bring a road in over another plot. So we have to have an easement, and there's all kinds of, I'm paying more in lawyers and architect and zoning survey fees than I think I've made in the last 2 years. So we're doing that. And then I've been traveling a lot, obviously been to Italy, go to Michigan 2 or 3 times a year. Going to DC for a family reunion next week. My cousin had this Italian deli that he goes to and gets food for the family. He's on Annapolis, lives on the Chesapeake. So just a lot of that. I've got my cooking with community leaders is I'm booked through the end of September.
Wow.
With different people. Some interesting, some just some different stuff. So it just, I'm just kind of, and I'm like you, I've got 5 or 6 videos in the can so when I went to Michigan, I knew I was going to do nothing there, which I pretty much did nothing. So I had a bunch ready to go and they were ready to get slapped up. Yeah. And I'm doing the same thing. So when I'm traveling, I can just, kind of push a button and let it roll.
Doing the longer videos and stuff, what I did was I busted, I guess like three up, into different segments and stuff like that. And I am going to be doing longer videos and stuff like that. I want to get more into it, a little bit more. I don't want to be so serious. Also, I'm going to joke around a little bit with some stuff and go from there with it, because
you're already not doing that.
I try not to be. I try to be serious. You know what I mean? Especially, somebody said, "Where's your outtakes?" No, they'd be X-rated.
Your outfits.
Yeah. And and they're trying to do. Hey, Ron, how you doing? Trying to do that seniors and food, trying to get that off the ground. And I got to tell you something, Charlie. We put one video up, and all of a sudden, and when we had 36 subscribers. Okay. Prior to that, we had 15, but everybody jumped on board, and I said, "Well, that's great, 30-something." I woke up the next day, I had 76. You know what I mean? And then, but that one, I'm trying to be a little bit more lighthearted with Marie. I want Marie to do a little bit more cooking and stuff. And I feel bad for her right now because we do the balcony garden. Okay.
Right. Fried.
Everything cooked.
That's the Italian cook from PBS calling.
Yeah. Don't you know my name? You son of a bitch. I can't.
I did want to give Marie a plug because I love her stories that come out on Saturdays, I believe. And my favorites, and I know she's going to know this, but the ones that you wove in the real people into the stories, they were just fantastic.
Yeah.
For a variety of reasons. And then the I think the summer camp one was just a hoot because of the different. She ended up saying, "Well, he ended up doing this, and he's doing this, and Charlie's doing a talk show, and blah blah." And it's just they were a hoot. So I know they probably take a lot of time, more than the other ones, but they were so good that I think there's at least two of them so far, two or three maybe.
I got to tell you something. She's got talk about me banking things. Okay, she's got a folder like that of different stories. But getting back to that with the camp, she said, "What do you think about it?" I said, "That's fantastic." Okay, Grumpus came back. Bill came back. Bill said, wrote to her. He said, "I remember that like it was yesterday." And he went through the whole story about about his part. But I didn't really do it that way, Marie. I tried to walk around. I wasn't scared. You said I'm scared. I wasn't scared. So he dove into it a little bit more. So yeah, I mean, she's doing real well with it. I'm happy for her. She's like a little bummed out. I lost one. Yeah, but you do. Charlie.
Lost a subscriber?
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. Okay. I'm like looking at mine, all right, I got 12, 13. In the first 20 minutes, she's got like 50, 60 views. Okay. And people are watching it more. So there's no big deal for her to have 200 and some views on it. It's just that type of, the genre that she's involved with. So, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And it keeps us busy,
Yeah.
In between. How many pots are you going to use? Or I'll go like this. I had the camera on and I'm leaning back. Nobody can see me on the camera. And I'm going. She says, "I don't know. That means a spoon."
You should hold the camera and let her do the cooking and then just narrate. So, what are you doing there? What are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
That's seniors and food. That's what we're heading down the road with that one. So
good. Yeah, I think that'd be a hoot. And you probably have starting to get some because I know you're on Facebook on that.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit of kick from that, and people see it. And then I used to get on Facebook I would get sports, I would get DC, and now my entire timeline is only cooking. This cook, that cook, this recipe, that recipe. I said, I don't see it. They talk about with all these political ads, and said, I haven't seen a political ad in years. They don't even bother.
Exactly. Exactly. And the funny part about it is I have like, I think close to 2,000, 1,900, whatever followers on, not followers, friends, okay, on there. I'll put something I'm cooking, I get 3 people. Really? You know what I mean? Really? So.
Yeah, I think unless you're, from what I've been able to figure out, unless you are listed as a close friend or someone who you watch all the time on a fairly rigid basis, it doesn't necessarily pop up if it's not in your kind of the things that you are interested in, like clothing or shopping or politics or whatever it is. It just doesn't come up. Because there's 2 or 3 people. This is Black Iowa is one, and there's a couple other people that I follow that say, "Here's your weekly summary from Black Iowa."
Okay.
I always watch his stuff, and it's so I guess because I always either comment or like it, that comes up as a weekly thing.
He cracks me up. He cracks me up, Matthew. He's a good guy. The sense of humor. See, that's the whole idea of it.
Yeah.
If you're going to take everything that's serious about it, here's the other thing that gets me. Okay, people who do food hauls. Now, in my neck of the woods, okay, with keto stuff, a lot of people do food hauls. Well, here's what I bought. So I said, you know what? I followed suit a little bit with it. And I'm saying, who gives a rat's behind about whether I bought Triscuits or something else? You know?
I'm with you 100%. As soon as I
So-
see grocery haul, I just move on to the next video. I'm not watching it. I don't care.
So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing stuff with olive oil. I'm going to buy a couple different olive oils and try them out that way. Marie said you ought to do some wine. Do some wine. That's not be fractured by the time I get done. You know what I mean? But different alcohols that I cook with, because I do.
Right.
That's my repertoire. I do a lot of alcohol cooking, with different things and stuff like that. Charlie, if you ever get a butternut squash, okay, cut it up. Be real careful cutting it because it's hard. They're hard as hell.
Right.
Cut them up, slice them up because they're solid all the way down until you get to the barrel.
Right.
Okay. I would cut the barrel, dig out the seeds in that, and then cut that up. Leave the skin on. Cut the other ones up maybe about an inch in the rounds. Put them on a pan. Put them in roasted. And you can use sugar. Okay. You don't have to. You can put a little salt, pepper, cinnamon. Okay. I use Chinese 5-spice, but if you don't have that, you can use a little allspice or something like that.
Right.
Very lightly put that on there. Roast them off. Cut around with the knife. Take the peel off. Okay. And then dice them up. Get yourself some nice bourbon. Don't have to be expensive. Bourbon and butter with them things. I'm telling you, you ain't never had anything like that in your life. The taste is off the charts.
Yeah, you did. Didn't you did a video with?
Yeah,
I know it was with bourbon and was it
butter? Bourbon and butter.
It was which squash was it? It was butternut squash.
Yeah, butternut squash.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the taste. Now there again, butternut squash. I got to be careful with because the carb count is high on it.
In all squash, really?
Yeah.
Any squash?
It's like for a cup. I think a cup of butternut squash is like 16 grams of carbohydrates. So, but
spaghetti squash too?
No, spaghetti squash. I think is 4 carbs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
What about zucchini and yellow squash?
Zucchini they also have I think 2 to 3 carbs in them. Very low.
Yeah, they're all water.
Yeah, it's all low, low carbohydrate. But okay, with that butternut squash, all right, the flavor was like whoa. Yeah. Even without just that little bit of essence that I put on there. But years ago, I used to put brown sugar on it and get it to where it was bubbly, the whole bit. But then when I cubed it up, that was stuff that was put in the freezer. And I brought that out, and then because it was already cooked.
Now you got me thinking. I might add a little ginger to that.
Oh yeah, turmeric.
Yeah, that's interesting.
A little ginger, turmeric, but the bourbon. I mean, just it sucked up the inside there with the butter. Chihuahua, man, it was good. See, it got me going crazy now. Marie, what's in the freezer? So we're getting ready this weekend. We're getting ready at the Pass By Casino. We're having a doo-wop show. We got the Night Kings coming in, and a good friend of mine, Stevie Dunham. He's an old doo-wopper from way back, and we got that plus the show out in the casino itself, out at the lounge. So it's fun, it really is.
How late do you stay up, old man?
Let me tell you something. We did a show from 7 to 11. By 9 o'clock, I'm like rubbing my arms and shit. But we get home, like I said, about midnight, I guess. Then I can't sleep. Just,
Oh, yeah, you're wound up. You've been performing for 4 hours.
I said to Marie one night, I said, can I have a cup of coffee? It's 12 o'clock. I don't drink when we play. I don't see the need to do it. You know what I mean? And then when I get done, that ship sailed. Back in the day, I'd be fractured by 4 a.m.
Right.
But I don't see the need for it. So, I just it's fun. It really is a lot of fun.
How many guys in your group?
There's 3 of us. One guy travels. He plays with ABBA, also ELO, tribute bands and stuff. He's all over the country. So, So we got different people coming in. The whole premise of what we do is it's called a pass by because the name of the casino is the Pass Casino, but we did do a pass by because it's all of the other entertainers that are in down on the strip. One guy came in one night who was actually handpicked by Billy Joel to do the Piano Man. He also does Elton John. And then we got all these different. Last weekend I played with a guy from, his name is Nicholas Cole. He's in the Italian American Club in Las Vegas.
There you go.
So he invited me to go out to see him and this and that. I enjoy it. I really do.
So is this, are you signed up for a weekly? Is this just your weekly gig? And that's,
yeah, just once every Saturday.
Okay.
We do this. And now they're getting into, they have like another room. It's not a big casino. It's in Henderson.
And they pay you in cheeseburgers?
No. You know what? Actually, they have a pretty nice little Italian restaurant there. And yeah, they got good food. I mean, it's the only thing bothers me is the smoke, the cigarette smoke.
You're allowed to smoke in the casinos?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even on the strip, a lot more. But this one place, had one old bastard come in, and he had looked like a drumstick sticking out of his mouth cigar. So I have a little fan set up underneath my drums. I have electronic drums. So it's not conventional. So I have my fan hooked up, and he comes waltzing by with this smoke in his throat. And I know he does it on purpose because he walked past, look at me, and take a big puff, and shoot the smoke out. Okay. I told him one day, I'm going to knock you the hell out, you old bastard. So I spoke to management about it. I said, it's killing us. And we get these people coming up, singing. And he said, all right. So they put up no smoking. Well, he can walk past me with no cigar in him, and I'm like this one. Remember me? So yeah,
So
it's
the law does not preclude it, but individual casinos can ban if they want, or they can ban in rooms.
Yeah, no, there's no smoking in any of the rooms, but you can smoke down in the casino. Charlie,
The casino, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's all made to get people into the casino and the slot machines. Okay, can't smoke in the restaurants. The only place you can smoke is on the floor.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense then.
On the casino floor. So, and you know what? After the cigarette smoke, I smoked all my life. I quit, I guess, 15, 16 years ago. But before I quit, I was doing 5 packs a day.
Whoa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ouch.
And I quit cold turkey. So
wow.
Matter of fact, I quit 1 year before I was diagnosed with bladder cancer. And the main thing from bladder cancer is smoking.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, so it's
never smoked.
Yeah, and see that's what I was talking about earlier about about doing keto and stuff. You can make the change. You can do it. I mean, I don't smoke anymore. It bothers me now. So, but that risotto, damn it. The risotto got me.
Wait till I do the tiramisu that I learned how to do in Italy. That's why we went to the
Marie's doing tiramisu, damn it.
No, we went to the Cesarina in Napoli. The woman who you go to their house and they teach you how to cook and stuff. One of the things she taught us how to make was tiramisu, and I have the recipe. I just haven't. I mean, I'm not a dessert person, and there's really no real cooking to it per se. But I still want to make it just because it was another thing I made in Italy.
Yeah, so I mean, I like some of the desserts. I used to eat it all the time. When I got done work, okay, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, we jump in the car and run into the city, and I go to a couple different Italian places, always down Little Italy, and because they were open constantly, and I would go in and be able to rest. But Vincent's was my go-to place, and there's another place up a little bit called Ye Old Limehouse. Figure this one out. I don't know where they got that name from, but they made the best galamad and shrimp I've ever had, ever. Okay.
The
waiter would come over. Yeah, Ye Old Limehouse. I don't know
Okay.
the correlation with the name, but you see
Maybe they're on a
Sinatra's.
state line or a city line or a county line.
No, they were right in Manhattan. I mean, Lower
Oh,
Manhattan, Little Italy. Yeah, actually
ah,
bordering Chinatown.
okay.
You go you go in. Well, waiter, come over. He had the apron up to here. Okay, what are you gonna have? I tell him, Galamad shrimp, hot sauce, scotch on the rocks. Johnny Black, if you got it. Okay, that sounded good. Turn around. Two Galamad. No, that's not what I said. Why are you writing it down for, number one? He said, table over there. One. I ain't paying for it. Okay. And we go back and forth with that. But I tell you, I mean, that's, and then leave there and then, and go to, what do you call it? I can't think of the name of the pastry place. It was right across the street, actually. And I go in and have a, tiramisu and a little cappuccino, anisette, and then drive home.
You're in Jersey?
Yeah. Yeah. It was almost like every weekend I would do that. Met a lot of great people there. And that's the other thing I did. I would go to other places. I wouldn't just be in my realm. I would go to other restaurants. I would try
Right.
other things.
Sure.
I'd make friends with them people just because, you know why? It's nice to be nice to other people and not have that competition.
Sure.
Everybody does their own way of doing things. The big argument, okay? I'm Irish. I have all my friends are Italian, okay? And we're on Facebook. And he's going back a couple years. And one guy would call it gravy. And the other guy call it sauce. So I say to one guy, did you make your sauce today, Sunday sauce? And the other guy chime in, it's gravy. Hey, I'm not trying to start nothing here, but are you cooking today? Who says it's gravy? And they I mean, the typing, their fingers had to be bleeding by the time we got done with it. Okay. And I'd sit back. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I just keep reading, watching what's going on. And one guy would say, you see what's going on here, right? That fat Irishman started this fire. Okay, it got us arguing. Okay, he could care less what it is.
Stoking the fire.
Yeah, but I mean that's how I dealt with everybody coming. Hey, I had stuff to come into the restaurant that was not. People would send back. This prime rib's too rare. Well, okay, actually Marie was the waitress too. I take the prime rib and flip it over. Okay, send it back out. Too well done. Oh, gee, really? Bring it back in, flip it over again. I give him a new baked potato and another vegetable. Everything was hot, and send it out. Guys, Marie came back with a scotch on the rocks for me. Guy said it was the best prime rib you ever had. It's the same prime rib. I flipped it 2 times. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you can't please everybody. So you got to have the. Back in the day, I would fight in a heartbeat, but that ship sailed many moons ago. So really what it cost me as far as my food costs, it cost me a baked potato and some vegetables. So because they thought I was cutting more prime rib.
Sure.
And we would cut each end cut has a bone, and the other side has no bone. So king and queen. So I would cut in between, but the bone would probably be maybe about an inch and a half, okay, of bone. So I'd cut that. And then in between that, I would cut that be a queen cut. So that's the way we sold it. $12.95 for the king, okay, and $10.95 for the queen. That's how far back we went. But
I was the end cut guy when I worked in clubs. That was I'd wait till the end. It says, hey, the chef's name, not chef, but the sous chef was Gore. His name was Gore. I said, Gore, you got an end cut for me? So yeah. Wait a minute. So give me an end cut, a baked potato, in the silver foil.
And even the lobsters. I mean, every night I'd go through 200 pounds of lobster every night.
Wow.
Okay. Back then we sold them for $8.95.
Yeah.
Twins for $16. Okay. The 2 whole lobsters together, and we stuff them with crab meat, shrimp, scallops, and clams. That would be the stuffing. $8.95.
Yeah. The lobsters used to be, and you could get it in Maine. You could get them off the dock for $1.
Yeah.
They were like bottom feeders. I didn't nobody
Yeah.
wanted them, and then all of a
We
sudden somebody made them. I guess the Italian guy on PBS started making them, whoever he is.
yeah, they what do you call out here? Went to one place and I said, "How much are your lobsters?" Well, the market price of the lobster right now is. I asked you a straight question. Can you give me a straight answer? Well, let me go check what the market price is. You come back, you're 45 and change and up.
Right.
I didn't ask to buy everybody dinner. I just asked you about how much a lobster was. You know what I mean?
Right.
That type of stuff. So I'm just watching the evolution of it. It's crazy, but I don't know. Charlie, what's your favorite food?
I'd eat pasta every night if I could.
Really?
Yeah.
You watch what you're doing. You watch pretty much what you're doing. I mean,
I have a lot of fish. I have a lot of fresh fish. We almost very, very few processed foods. It's almost all fresh. And we've gone from, meat, starch, vegetable protein and vegetable. The starch is almost non-existent. A lot of salad, a lot of lean protein. It's mostly a lot of vegetarian stuff. We can make a vegetarian meal out of a couple things. Just try to eat healthy.
Yeah, I don't get the fight between people about vegans and vegans. Sometimes vegans can be a little vicious towards you.
I got yelled at for for Parmesan cheese, eggplant parmesans. Well, that's not vegetarian because Parmesan is made with the whey of or something, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. I said it's cheese. What do you want me to say? It's
yeah. I mean. The whole idea of you want to watch everybody commercializes everything. When I seen everybody turn with this keto stuff, keto chow and stuff, it's all processed. It's garbage. It's all garbage stuff. So make your own. Make your own. You could take some fruit and whatever, and make your own heavy cream. Make your own frappe, whatever you want to call them. Shakes, whatever. You don't need that box shit. You don't need none of that other crap.
I have a video that's in the can that would be good for keto. It's a tuna salad, but it's an albacore tuna, and I grill it, and then you slice it, and then it's with peppers, sweet peppers, hot peppers, and it looks delicious. I've made it a couple times, but that's the type of thing. Put it all together, one pot meal.
I found this one place out here called Wilco stores. It's really big. It's almost like trying to mimic Costco type of thing. I think that's the name of it. Well, I went in there and I found 5 pounds of 1620 shrimp, which means 16 to 20 shrimp to a pound. Okay. Or U15s or U13s.
Right.
Same concept. I got this 5 pounds for $26. Okay. Can't go wrong with that. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So I got 2 bags and I split one bag with my daughter and stuff like that. So and then in that store looking at tri-tips and stuff, Kenny and Debbie said, I used to eat tri-tips all the time. Back east, hard to come by. Okay, some of the places wouldn't carry it.
And there's people who don't even know what tri-tips are.
That's right. So in the restaurant, we used to get tri-tip, okay, and that was we used them for our sandwiches.
Right.
Okay. With the jardiniere and stuff like that. So getting back to the shrimp and stuff, that's a good buy for me. But their meat is through the roof. Okay. So I go back, I shop around a couple different places. And then I go back to Smart and Final where I buy in bulk. That's basically why I buy in bulk. I just seen New York Strip, and that went up because I would get that for $60 or $70 the whole cut, and that went up. That's up right now to I think it was $130 for that kind of stuff. So I stay away from it. You know what I mean? If I think it's outrageous, I don't need it.
Yeah, and if I'm gonna have a steak, I'm gonna go to the store that day and get it.
Right.
I'm not cutting it out of the freezer.
Yeah.
Like tonight we're having burgers, but it's without the bun. I saute some peppers and onions and mushrooms, and then put it on top of the burger, and then melt cheese on top, and that's a burger.
Yeah. My daughter says, the boys, when we make a burger, we get the buns and everything like that. I says, well, start cutting back from the buns. Make them in a different shape.
Yeah.
Okay. And remember Salisbury steak?
Of course. In my TV dinner.
Yeah, Swanson.
That's right.
I got to go in. What are your rat patrols on or something? I don't know. Well, Charlie, we're up at 1 hour and 30 minutes. I think we covered enough ground. I think
it was great. I appreciate you having me on. And
I want to do this. I'm going to do this maybe a couple times a month or whatever. Just connect and.
I'm around as you know when you called me today. I said, yeah, I got nothing going on.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to make a whole thing, but I think it's interesting because you know what, we're pretty much on the same page. I like what you're doing. A lot of intriguing stuff that I like. I mean, it really. Well, we joke around and stuff. Hey, by the way,
yes,
you started it. Don't end it. My picture has got to be up on every. I said it'll be good if I ever need a liver transplant. I just go back to cooking secrets from men.
Oh, I love sticking that in there. It says, yeah, I wish I had a bottle of red wine, but I don't. I'm not Tom Garvey. I don't have to stick around.
So just before we go, I'm gonna let you know ahead of time. Okay, September, the whole month of September, I'm putting together now and see how I can do this without offending anybody, but. We're going to do a olive oil, not a challenge, just a tribute to olive oil. So everybody who has the olive oil bottle, okay, we had to take a break. I was going to hand out more, but Marie's arthritis and stuff was acting up, so it was kind of hard for her to do it. So somebody said, once you have labels make us, they're not authentic because every bottle is different. She does something to every bottle that's totally different from the other bottle that we have. And what we're going to do is we're going to do for the whole month, just how you cook with olive oil, why you use it, and that's basically what it's going to be like. But everybody that does it, I'm going to hashtag to me, I guess, to the Keto Cook or Tom Garvey, the Keto Cook, olive oil videos, I guess we'll call them. I don't want it to be a competition, but at the end of it, probably October 1st or 2nd, I will do a drawing. I'm trying to get this legit, okay? So I don't get accused of it. And the winner will get Popeye bottle.
Ooh.
Marie, you got the Popeye bottle handy? I just want to show everybody. And
Ginger and I were just talking about this the other day. I said, whatever happened to the olive oil thing with Tom?
I'm trying to make it to where, I even forget who I sent him to. We never made a list on it. So
make them have to. Oh, I've seen that before. Make everybody send you a photo of their bottle.
Yeah. Yeah, that might work.
That's their entry.
So either Popeye has
all you have to do is look at any of my videos and you can see that I have it.
He's always there. That's why I'm real happy with when I say that. There it is right there. It's being used. 805 had said to me that he had work done in his kitchen and they dropped it. Somebody had dropped it. Contractor dropped it and broke it.
Ooh.
I should tell the contractor it's $100,000 to replace that. So, unbelievable. Too much. I don't know. All right, Charlie. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. We'll be back. We're going to have just chatting about food. Hang on, Charlie.
Appreciate it, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks, Tom. Bye, okay. Marie. See y'all.